Bezrat Hashem. Okay, so we are Daf Mem Bet Amud Bet, or more accurately Daf Mem Gimel, but we are starting from the last three words on the page of Mem Bet Amud Bet. Umeidin Zelazeh. We learned before that according to Shmuel, the Shutafin are able to testify one for the other. Okay, so says the Gemara, Amai. Why is that true? Why are they allowed to testify one for another? Nogin be'edutan hen. Aren't they considered nogia be'edut, meaning that they have a personal interest, right? Reuven is a partner with Shimon. He's going to say, Shimon, yeah, the field belongs to you. He has a personal interest in it. How can he do it? How can he do that? We know that edut, mishinogea b'davar. If a person has an interest in edut, he's not allowed to testify. Says the Gemara, Hacha b'ma'eskinan, dekatav le din udvarim en li al sadezu. Why is he considered to not have any personal interest? Because he wrote in a document that he has nothing more to do with this field. So now since he removed himself from the whole partnership of this field, it's as if he's just testifying regularly, and then there's not going to be a problem afterwards with personal interest. Okay. It says the Gemara, V'chi katav lo, my havi. Even if he wrote it for him that he has no personal interest in the field, what difference does it make? Why? V'hatanya, didn't we learn in a Braita? Ha'omer lechavero, person that tells his friend, din udvarim en li al sadezu. Okay, I have no business with this field. Ve'en esek ba, or he says, I have nothing to do with it. V'yadi misuleket hemena, and I'm removing my hand from it, meaning I'm pulling back 100% from everything. Lo amar klum. It's still as if he didn't say anything. It's still as if it doesn't work. So we just tried answering that. If he writes him in a shtar that he has nothing to do with it anymore, it works. But here we see clearly that it doesn't. Says the Gemara, Hacha b'mayeskinan, kshekano miyado, that not only he wrote him the shtar, but he also did a kinyan. So now that it fully belongs to the second guy, the second partner, okay, that's it. Reuven, the first guy, has nothing to do with it anymore. Says the Gemara once again, V'chi kano miyado, even if he acquired it from him, my havi. What difference does it make? Hare מעמידה בפני בעל חובו. דאמר רבין בר שמואל, משמי דשמואל, המוכר שדה לחברו שלא באחריות, אין מעיד לו עליה, מפני שמעמידה בפני בעל חובו. If a person, he sells a field without any guarantee, okay, what happens? So a person, he sells his field, he goes to Shimon, Reuven tells Shimon, here, you want to buy this field? Okay, you can buy this field, no problem, but I'm selling it to you without a guarantee. What does the guarantee mean? That means that let's say Levi comes along and says, this field was mortgaged to me previously for a different loan. Okay, so now what's going to happen? Levi is going to take this field that Shimon bought. Okay, and then technically what normally should happen is Reuven would have to reimburse Shimon. Now, says the Gemara, in our case, even if the second partner, Shimon, or Reuven wrote, Shimon did a kinyan on the field, right? Reuven still has an interest in it, right? Reuven is still going to have an interest in it. Why is he going to have an interest?
Because he's going to need to reimburse.
Because now
Reuven is the seller.
Reuven is the original partner, yeah. Okay, so Reuven is the original partner. He's going to have an interest. Why is he going to have an interest? Because now he's going to make sure that he doesn't take the field, that he doesn't get the field anymore. Okay.
Wait, Reuven is the partner who said that he didn't have anything to do with this anymore? No. He doesn't understand something beginning.
Again.
Reuven sells the field to Shimon.
No. Over here, we're in our case specifically, we're talking about two partners, Reuven and Shimon. Okay? Reuven,
He
now detaches himself, removes himself from the whole case, and he removes himself from the whole field. He removes himself from the whole partnership, and we said because of this, he's allowed to testify. So he said, why is he allowed to testify? He's still nogea b'davar. So he said because he did kinyan. So what if he did kinyan? So he said because when he did kinyan, what he's doing now is he's not he now doesn't have achayut to pay the other guy. Okay, he doesn't have an achayut to pay the other guy.
Who says no, I haven't.
Exactly. Okay.
So they were partnership. It doesn't matter. They were partnership. One get out of the partnership. A third party come and sue them. Whatever. And now the partner will get out saying, I'm not part of it.
The partner that gets out, he's saying that the field belongs fully to Shimon.
Yeah, but it depends when the lawsuit refers to what? To when
again, the Levi is trying to claim Reuven's part.
Correct.
Okay, he's trying to claim Reuven's part. However, the Gemara said that Reuven is able to testify that it belongs to Shimon, and he's not considered nogea b'davar. What? Because he removed himself, he did kinyan, and what else? He said because he doesn't have a personal interest involved anymore, because now he's not going to have to pay the creditors. Okay? What do you mean? Of course there is. That's the whole thing. We said that there is, that he wrote him a shtar. Okay? Says the Gemara. Huh? I mean, and that's not the case we're talking about. We're talking about the case where he wrote it. Okay? So says the Gemara, and here what are we talking about? The kavil ale achayut. That he what? That he accepted responsibility for the field. So now, if you accepted responsibility for the field, what happens? What happens? Regardless of whoever the field is going to, in whoever's possession the field is going to be, he's going to have to pay someone, right? Either he's going to have to pay Shimon, his partner, because he gave him a guarantee, right? Or he's going to have to pay Levi because Levi owes the thing. So in this case, for him, there's absolutely no interest. There's absolutely no interest in if he testifies it belongs to Shimon or testifies that it belongs to Levi. Because he's going to have to pay regardless.
The line above it says Shalom באחריות, אז מה קורה אז? So I want to catch up with you. The line above it says if the איש יסדר חברו שלו באחריות, אין מעיד לו.
Yeah, because over here now he gains something. Yeah, no, when he says when there's no achayut, then what happens? If there's no achayut, you have the seller that he tells you buy the field, I'm giving you a guarantee that this field is not going to be taken by someone else for a mortgage. That's achayut shelo achayut. Okay? All right. So says the Gemara now, now that we said that he's giving achayut, he's giving a responsibility, right? He's giving a guarantee. So to the shutaf, right? So that means that he has no more interest involved whatsoever, because regardless of the outcome, he's gonna have to pay. So says the Gemara just wants to clarify what is the guarantee that he gives him. Says the Gemara, achrayut dema. What guarantee did he give him? Inema achrayut de alma. Okay. Kol sheken denichale. If you're going to tell me that he gave him an achayut, that what? That I'm giving you an achayut only that this field originally belonged to me. What does that mean? That means that if someone's going to come and claim that the field didn't belong to me and then I gave it to you, I guarantee you that this won't happen. And if it happens, I'll pay you whatever happened. Says the Gemara, in this case, it's not a good achayut. Why?
The achayut is not about the fact that he first sold it to this guy and then to this guy. The achayut is just that he's
exactly, meaning the achayut, the guarantee that he's giving him, the guarantee that he's giving Shimon, the guarantee that he's giving his second partner, is not that if someone takes the field from you, I'm going to pay you back. It's only a very specific guarantee that what? That if someone's going to claim the field isn't mine, that's when I'm going to pay you back. But what happens if a debtor comes and wants to collect it? He's going to get. He won't have to pay the field, right? So says the Gemara. It says the Gemara, Ela achayut de'atya le machmate. He says, so what is the guarantee that he's giving him? Exactly. So I'm saying. Again, what is the achayut de'alma? What is achayut de'alma? A regular achayut, a regular guarantee. What is the regular guarantee? The regular guarantee is that no one's going to claim the field instead of him. It is going to claim that the field wasn't his or whatever it is. Achayut de'ati ale machmate, the chayut that he comes instead of him is what? That now if someone's going to try to take the field from you, I'm going to pay you back. This is when, according to everyone, he has no guarantee.
Usually,
says the Gemara, v'chi misalek nafshe mineh. When he removes himself from it, mi mistalek, is he really removing himself from it? V'hatanya b'nei ir shenignav sefer Torah shelahen en danin b'dayane ota ha'ir. Okay, now what happens? Again, the Gemara is trying to verify this fact or this claim that we just made, that if the shutaf, he removes himself from the picture, he takes himself out from the picture, that's it, he's not considered nogea badavar anymore, and he's able to testify. Okay, so he gave the field to Shimon, we explained how he gave it to him, and now he wants to testify on Shimon, that the field belongs to Shimon. Okay, so the Gemara says, is that really true? Can that really work? Why? We see in a case where if there was a city that had a Sefer Torah stolen from them. Now you have to understand, back in the day, when a city had a Sefer Torah, it's not like today, Baruch Hashem, we have 20 Sifrei Torah in a Hechal, we have whatever it is. There was very often, there was only one Sefer Torah for the entire city. Okay, now, if that's the case, what happens? That means that now, the dayanim, the judges of that city, if they're going to judge this case, or if the people that belong to this city, they're going to come and they're going to testify for this case, what's going to happen? They have a personal interest involved. Why? Because of the Sefer Torah. The Sefer Torah, they need this. Every single person over there needs the Sefer Torah. So it says, En dayanim, en danin b'dayane ota ir, ve'en mivi'in raya me'anshe ota ir. You can bring a raya from the people of that city. Why? V'im ita, and if what we said previously is true, that what? That the shutaf can remove himself from the whole picture by saying, I have no more claims to anything of this. Lisliku betre minayhu. Okay, so let two dayanim, right, or let two witnesses remove themselves from the picture. They're going to say, we have nothing to do with this Sefer Torah anymore, and then that's it. Okay, and then let them judge it.
What can they do if there is one Sefer Torah? So what do? They don't go to synagogue?
The chiyuv of Sefer Torah is on the tzibur, not on the individual.
Yeah, but what are you doing afterwards? What are you going to do? There is one Sefer Torah.
But that's exactly what the Gemara is going to answer. Says the Gemara, Shani Sefer Torah dirishmi'a kai. The Sefer Torah is different. Why is it? Because it's meant to be heard. Meaning you're supposed everyone over there is supposed to is supposed to hear the Sefer Torah, so they can never technically remove themselves from the thing. Okay. Okay. It says the Gemara, Tashema, again, we're trying to prove the same thing again. If a person says, give a maneh to the people of my city, and danin b'dayane ota ha'ir, the dayanim of that city cannot be judges in it. Okay, why? Because once again, he says, give maneh to the people of my city. The dayanim belong to this city, so if they're going to judge, they're going to be nogea badavar. Okay, says the Gemara. And you also can bring a proof from the people of that city because there are no nogim badavar. Says the Gemara, why? If you're going to say, like we said all the way in the beginning, lisluk betrei nafshayu, Let them once
Here
again.
they can. In this case, they can.
So says the Gemara, let them do that. We said it doesn't work, but let them do that. If you're going to say by the shutaf that it's okay for the shutaf to remove himself, right? And it's going to be good, so let them do the same thing in this case. Says the Gemara, this is also when the guy said that he's giving maneh, he meant that he's giving a maneh to contribute towards the Sefer Torah. And since the Sefer Torah, like we said previously, they're going to benefit from it. So therefore, they can't, even if they're going to remove themselves, it's impossible because they're going to benefit from them. Says the Gemara, Tashema ha'omer tenu maneh le'aniyeh iri. If a guy says, give it to the poor people of my city, give money to the poor people of my of the city, and danim b'dayanei ota ir, and the dayanim cannot judge it once again. You can't bring a raya from the people of that city either. Why not? Says the Rav, v'tizmera ani shakli dayanim v'tizmera shakli dayanim mifsidu. If you're going to say that once again, the dayanim are going to take, right? He says the anim. Exactly, they're going to be nogim b'tavar. But the problem is that they're going to be posen. What? Yeah, but the money, the me'azuz, right? But there, he said no. He said now he no. That was the answer for the first one. Now, okay. Now what's the case so far in the Gemara? The case so far, because we're gonna change it in a minute. Don't worry. That he said, give it to the aniyim of the city.
The judges.
He's in a way he's right because he's only the anim shoftim the anim, so I know they remove himself.
No, so that's what the question is. He says, if why can't you do it? Let them remove themselves, and then it should work, right? Yeah. So he says, v'tizbera aniyim. Okay, now. V'tizbera, does it make sense? Aniyim shakle, dayanim ifsale, that the poor people take the money and then you're going to disqualify the judges? Meaning, what do the judges have to do with the poor the money that he's giving to the poor people? Again, Reuven, that's what the Gemara is asking. Okay, ela ema en danin b'dayane aniye ota ha'ir ve'en mivin raya me'aniye ota ha'ir. If the dayanim themselves were poor, you can't. Yes, but now the Gemara is clarifying. Now the Gemara is saying that over here, only if the dayanim were aniyim, then
inclusive. Okay.
Says the Gemara, ve'amai. Why? Even in the case where the dayanim are aniyim, what can happen? Nistalik betrei. Let two of them remove themselves from the thing. What are they going to say? Okay, they're aniyim, no problem. So you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, you know what? Even though they technically have a share in this mea maneh that's being for the aniyim, this maneh that's being for the aniyim, they remove themselves from it. They say, you know what? We have nothing to do with this maneh. We're not receiving a penny from it. We're not going to have any interest from it, right? So now technically they should be allowed to testify. Why? Because they're saying that they're not going to benefit from the maneh, right? Says the Gemara, hachanami b'sefer Torah. This is also talking about the Sefer Torah. So says the Gemara, Amai karalu aniyim. If you're talking about Sefer Torah, why did it say aniyeh ha'ir? It says the Gemara, it says Sefer Torah aniyim because everyone, in regards to Sefer Torah, is considered to be aniyim. Meaning, if there's no Sefer Torah, they're considered to be aniyim in that thing. So that's why he said aniyim. Aniyim hen. V'ibait ema, or you can say, leolam kidikatani, aniyim mamash. They're really poor. Not that it's Sefer Torah, really that they're poor. Uvaniyen deramu alayhu. Okay, that we're talking about over here. That the responsibility for the aniyim is on the city. Okay, so what does that mean? That means vehechi dami idika itzlu litve beit reminayu madika itzlihu. ולדיינו, הכה במאי עסקינן, דלא קיץ להו, והיא בעיותמה לעולם דקיץ להו, וניחא להו, דכיוון דרב החבך. So I say it like this. We can have two possibilities. We can have a possibility where the judges or the person, what did he say? He said that, I'm going to give money to the poor people of the city, right? Okay. What do the Dayanim do? The Dayanim, they're Aniyim, right? So technically, they can remove themselves from the equation. How do they remove themselves from the equation? So, not they say that we're not Aniyim, we're not going to benefit from this thing. Now, says the Gemara, one option of how that can work is what? Is only if there was a set amount to how much each ani is going to get.
Before they remove themselves.
Okay? So if there's a set amount, if there's a set amount,
always supported by the people, by the down.
If there's a set amount, so then you can say, okay, they remove themselves. But if there's no set amount, how are they going to remove themselves? Okay? Or the Gemara says, even if you say that it was what?
This is the punchline.
Because or you can say that even if there's no set amount, okay? Even if you say that there is a set amount for each ani, okay? But now what's gonna happen? Says the Gemara, if let's say each individual ani is supposed to get one coin. One thing. He gave 100, each individual ani is gonna get. So what are they gonna say? They're gonna say, you know what? We're removing ourselves from this equation. We're not going to get involved. We're not going to take a one coin from this inheritance or whatever it is, right? But what's the problem now, or what's the interest that they have now? Because let's say the kupa of the eel they had before this guy came along, they had 50 coins. The 50 coins wasn't enough to give to everyone, right? But now that this guy came and gave 100. So everyone got their one coin, and now they can take without any problem from the 50 coins that were previous. So what's going to happen? Maybe, exactly, they're benefiting. Why are they benefiting?
Because the town supported
them. Not directly, indirectly.
Exactly. So that's the reason why they cannot, that's the reason why even if they remove themselves from the equation, it's not going to work. So basically what we were doing this whole time right now is we were trying to ask a question on Shmuel that said that the shutaf can remove himself from the equation and still testify, right? And then we brought a bunch of different proofs why it shouldn't work, why removing yourself from the equation shouldn't work. And each time we showed, or most of the times we showed, that it was talking about a Sefer Torah where you can't remove yourself from the equation because no matter what, you're still going to benefit from it, right? So we did that the first time. Then we did it a second time. Now we're doing it with the Dayanim Ha'aniyim. We say that they're always going to have some sort of benefit. So technically, the way we ended off the Gemara is what?
Cannot remove himself.
That he could remove himself.
That he can, but he's not. He's going to be
in all these other cases, even though he removed himself, he still had some benefit. But in the case of Shimon, we saw that if he removes himself completely from the equation and he gives a full guarantee to Shimon, that he tells him that if anyone comes and demands it from you, I'm going to reimburse you the whole field no matter what the situation is. Right? In that case, he has absolutely no interest, right? There's no what interest does he have to give it to Shimon? Because regardless, even if he's gonna have to pay Levi, or he's gonna have to pay back Shimon if they take the field away from Shimon.
Brought all of these cases that show that they are no matter what.
So that was the question that we asked, and then we answered. So then afterwards, the Gemara brought all these cases to show. Wait a second, even though he removes himself, or let him remove himself, and then it should be okay. And we see that it didn't work. So why didn't it work? So said the Gemara, because even if he removed himself in all those other cases, he's still nogea badavar. But if bemet there would be no negiut badavar, so then it would be okay. Then there wouldn't be a problem. And then that's how we answer that, according to Shmuel, that really even if the shutaf removes himself from the equation, it's fine. Okay? Yeah. Bezrat Hashem. All right. V'na'asim shomrei sachar ze lazeh. Says the Gemara that the shutafim, the partners, they can become shomer sachar one for another. Okay? That means they're paid watchers for one another. Says the Gemara.
Yeah, because they're not separated.
Wait. You're going to see what the... Wait till the Gemara, and then you're going to understand. Why are they considered to be shomrei sachar, one for another? Shmira beva'alim hi. If the owner is there, the owner is he's a paid watcher, and the owner is there right next to you. Even if he's a paid watcher, normally a paid watcher, he's the most chamul, he has the most stringencies of all the watchers. However, if the watcher is there, if the owner, of the item is there, and something happens to it,
the owner liability,
then there's no problem. Yes. Then the shomer has no liability. So he says, if they're shutafim, yeah. If they're shutafim, if they're partners in it together, why should they be considered shomrei sachar one for another? They can, right? How can it work? Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Papa de Elmaleh shemoli hayom v'ani eshmo lecha lemachar. Because now what did they say? They said, we're not doing a split 50-50 for the field, half like that. What are we doing? We're doing one day me, one day you. So what does that mean? That means on the day that he's watching, he's a shomer sachar for his partner. And on the day that his partner watches, the partner is a shomer sachar for him. And it's not considered as if they're working in it together, and it's not considered as if the ba'alim are there. Why? Because they each have an individual day and not splitting it 50-50.
Doesn't mean that one can turn on to the other one and, for example, sue him if something happened.
Yeah. If it was his watch, yeah. Okay. He says you should have watched it carefully. Why didn't you watch the field kmo shetzarich?
How can it be shomer sachar if he's part?
When again, if each day they have an agreement, I watch you one day, you watch one day. So now I got Yafe. But that's what he's explaining to you. He's explaining to you that if, because of, again, not you, Reuven and Shimon, right? So when Reuven is watching the field, right? So Shimon has all the right to claim, why weren't you, Reuven, more careful and not make sure that my part of the field didn't get damaged?
But it's like his field. They're partners. I don't understand.
Again, they're partners, yes. If
partner in something.
Yeah.
Partner in this.
Yeah.
You know what? Monday you watch over this, and Tuesday I watch over this.
Yeah, no problem. But
yeah, but if you mess it up and somebody comes and says,
I don't care about it.
Even though we're partners, I can see.
I don't care about it. It's fine. I don't care about it either. It's fine. But this napkin belongs to me, and this
half of it belongs to you.
Yes, but it's not a responsibility.
No, responsibility. Understand? I'm saying nogea b'davar. How can it be? How can it be separated?
Tanu Rabbanan, machar lo bait, machar lo sadeh, en me'id lo aleha, mipnei she'achrayuto alav. If a person sells a field or he sells a house, right? He's no longer able to testify for the person that bought it, right? So Shimon bought from Reuven. Reuven can no longer testify in Shimon. Why not? Because Reuven is going to have a responsibility to pay back afterwards the field if someone claims it from Shimon. Right? Reuven sells his field to Shimon. So Levi comes along and takes the field away from Shimon. What's going to happen now? Reuven is going to have to pay Shimon.
He wants to be out.
What do you mean he wants to be out?
He wants to be out of the picture.
No. Regular case. Leave everything.
With a chayut or
with a chayut. Leave everything. Yes, he's going to have to pay now Shimon, right? So for that reason, says the Gemara. Because he has a chayut.
He sold it to him. He didn't tell him that there was a lien.
Okay, so because of that, now he's going to have to pay Shimon. Because of that reason, says the Gemara, unogea badavar, he has a chayut in it, so he's no longer able to testify that it belongs to Shimon.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
Reuven sells it to Shimon. Yeah. He's not able to testify that it belongs to Shimon. Why is he not able to testify? Because if now he has an interest to say that it belongs to Shimon, because otherwise he's going to have to pay Shimon back the value of the field.
But if he testifies that it belongs to Shimon, he would have to pay Levi.
No. He doesn't have money to pay Levi.
So he cheated him.
Maybe.
100%.
Or he's saying that it just doesn't belong to Levi.
So he does give it to them.
Levi is trying to claim the field from him.
Yes.
Okay? Levi is trying to claim the field. Now, Reuven says the field doesn't belong to you, Levi, it belongs to Shimon.
Yes.
Your claim that it belonged to you before it belonged to me, whatever, non-existent, didn't happen. Okay? But you're going to see the Gemara is going to go more into detail. Okay? Let's see it. So says the Gemara, Tanu Rabbanan, Machar lo bayit, machar lo sadeh, if he sells a house or a field, en me'id lo alea, he cannot testify in it. Why? Mipeneh shachayuto alav, because he now has a responsibility on it. Machar lo para, machar lo talit, if he sells him either a cow or a garment, me'id lo aleha, he's able to testify that it belongs to the buyer now. Why? Mipeneh she'en achayuto alav, he doesn't have a responsibility for these things. These things are considered mitalterin. There's no responsibility. Says the Gemara, Maishna Resha Umaishna Sefa. What's the difference between the Resha, the first one, the house in the field, and the Para and the Talit? Right? Maishna Sefa. Amar Rav Sheshet. Huh? Yeah. So the Gemara is going to say a little bit better. Amar Rav Sheshet. Resha Bereuven Shegazal Sadeh Mishimon. Umachra leLevi. Okay, now pay very close attention because the names are gonna, if you confuse the names, you confuse the whole case. So Reuven stole the field from Shimon, okay, and sells it to Levi. So who should be the original owner in this case, technically? No, Shimon. What?
Original?
Yeah, Shimon.
Shimon or Reuven stole from Shimon. Who's the original owner? Shimon. Right? Reuven sold the field to Levi. Ve'ata Yehuda, now Yehuda comes, Ve'ka me'ar'er, and is complaining that what? The field doesn't belong to Reuven, it belongs to him. So you understand the...
Yeah.
So there's something
They got
between
the
Yehuda and
Yehuda.
Shimon. Yes.
You understand the thing? What's over here?
Reuven, yeah, Reuven stole it from Shimon. He sold it to Levi.
Yeah.
Now Yehuda comes and said, but how did you buy it from Shimon?
No. How did you buy it from Reuven?
You stole it? גם לא. מה פתאום? How Reuven stole it from Shimon? Anywhere Reuven is gonna have, and then Shimon also gonna have because it's mine originally.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He's coming, Yehuda is coming mikoch Reuven. Yehuda is coming to complain on Reuven. Meaning, no, אתם אומרים שמעון, זה לא נכון. אתה אמרת שמעון עכשיו.
גם שמעון אמרנו. כי אם יהודה אומר
לא על
לא שלו
שמעון.
ולא שלו, אז זה לא של שמעון ולא של ראובן.
So wait, so Yehuda is coming with what claim? Because
Yehuda is coming to complain that how can Reuven have sold the field to Levi?
No, so, yeah.
How can Reuven sell the field to Levi? It belongs to me.
So no kesha with
Okay,
Shimon.
but for him, for Yehuda, Shimon doesn't exist in this picture.
Exactly.
Okay.
For him, for Yehuda, Shimon doesn't exist in the picture. But for Shimon, you have to understand, Shimon, what is he doing? He's trying to argue, he's trying to fight against everyone. He's trying to fight against Reuven, he's trying to fight against Levi, and he's trying to fight against Yehuda. But technically speaking, in the whole deen, Shimon is nowhere, like between Yehuda and Yehuda, Reuven, and Levi, Shimon doesn't exist.
Why no more than Yehuda? The only true transaction is that Reuven sold it to Levi. Outside of that, everyone is up in the air.
Very good. Very good. So now pay attention to the case. So he says, so once again, Reuven stole from Shimon. Reuven sold to Levi. Yehuda comes and complains that how can Reuven sell it to Levi? It belongs to me. Now, what do we want? Now, what are we going to want to say? Shimon, who claims he's the original owner, wants to testify that the field should belong to Levi, not to Yehuda. Because he bought it from Reuven.
Maybe like that he has a way to get it back. With Yehuda, it's dead.
Okay. Delon lizel Shimon leasid Levi. So says the Gemara, Shimon cannot come and testify that the field belongs to Levi. Why not? Because Shimon is going to have an easier time proving that the field belongs to him, mikoach Levi, as opposed to that he's going to prove that the field belonged to him if Yehuda takes it. Okay. So it says, v'kivan de'asid Levi. He testifies, Sahade, right? Delevi hu hechi matzi mapik lemine de amar yadana de hay ara de lav Yehuda. So says the Gemara, wait a second. If he's going to testify if he's going to testify that the land should belong to Levi, so how is he going to come afterwards and claim that the land belongs to him? He just said, no, Yehuda, you're not correct. Why are you not correct? Because the land belongs to Levi. The land belongs to Levi. So how come you come afterwards and you come try to claim the land from Levi? Says the Gemara, you're right. He's not claiming, he's not testifying that the land belongs to Levi. What is he testifying? No, he's testifying that Yehuda, you're a liar. The land doesn't belong to you. So he's leaving it up in Levi and Reuven, he's leaving it up in the air. He's just coming in the negative aspect that it doesn't belong to Yehuda.
How does he prove it?
How does he prove it? He says your father's never owned it.
No.
Why not?
He testifies. We don't know how he proves it. He testifies.
You find some proof that that Yehuda is a liar in the thing. He says your father owned it. No, your father owned this land instead. Okay. Hechi matzima pikle mine de amar yadana de hay arad de lav Yehuda hi uvhahu zechuta de kama pikle mi Levi lipok mi Yehuda. Says the Gemara, wait a second. If he's going to come afterwards and try to prove that the land belongs to and the same way that afterwards he's going to come to take the land out of Levi, right? Because afterwards we said, at first he testifies that the land isn't Yehuda. Afterwards he's going to come and he's going to prove that the land that the land belongs to him and not to Levi. So let him do that directly with Yehuda. Why does he have to? If he's gonna find such a proof, regardless of whatever is going to happen, he's going to be able to take it even from Yehuda.
The question here is, he's testifying on a case that is, it's not a case about his ownership, it's a case about Yehuda versus Levi.
Absolutely.
Right now.
No, the first one was. The first one was, but why is the first one like that? So that he can make a second one to claim it from Levi.
Right.
So the Gemara says the same claim that you're going to do against Levi to get your original ownership back, you can do to Yehuda as well.
But my point is that here he's not coming to dispute the fact that it belongs to him. He's coming on a case Levi versus Yehuda.
Nachon?
So if we ask,
but why do you need to do that? Says the Gemara.
Exactly.
Why do you need to testify on Levi Yehuda if you can just do the same?
It comes to a judgment that is about Yehuda and Levi.
David, listen.
So 1 second. So he comes to the Beddin about Yehuda and Levi. He's been asked to be an ed. He cannot say, "Oh, I want to be an ed on something else because I want to talk about my case." No, you came to talk about a case.
No. Again, you have.
In one move, he can do shachmat. Listen, in one move, he can do shachmat. Here, what you say, you need to fight 3 fronts. In one move, he disputes all of them. The moment that he can claim either one of them the ownership, the Gemara said, don't start from the
I understand that, but I'm saying I don't know if he can do that.
So he can. That's what the Gemara said. He said the way you can do it against Yehuda or against Shimon or against Reuven or against Levi, do from the top. Don't start from the bottom up one. Do from the top, all the bottom will fall through.
What did Yehuda? What did Yehuda just do? Yehuda just did the same thing.
How do you prove it?
Yehuda just did the same thing. Why? Because think of it. Exactly.
But Yehuda didn't come as an ed. That's my point.
Okay.
He's not
over here. He doesn't. If he has the proper proof, he doesn't have to come as an ed either. So that's exactly what the Gemara is saying. The Gemara is saying, wait a second. If he has the proof to take it out from Levi's hand, then the same proof that he has to take it from Levi's hand, he's going to be able to take it from Yehuda. So why are we going through this whole process of he has to disprove Yehuda, that Yehuda is a lie, that Yehuda, he can just do it. Okay, so as bonire. Okay, so he says the same way that he's going to take it from Levi, he's going to take it out from Yehuda. Says the Gemara, the Amar Hasheni Noach li Harishon Kashe Himeno. He says why? Because it's easier. It's going to be easier for me to prove it in whatever manner, right? He says it's going to be easier for me to prove my case versus Levi as opposed to Yehuda. So if Yehuda takes the field from Levi, what's going to happen? He's going to have a harder time proving that it belongs to him as opposed to Yehuda. But if it's going to be from Levi, he's going to have an easier time. So yes, he maybe he's going to have a claim, but it's going to be a lot harder for him. So now that Reuven wants to come and testify against Yehuda for the benefit of Levi, he has a personal interest in it. Okay. V'ibaitema says the Gemara, a different answer. V'ibaitema, or if you want, you could say kegon de itle sahadi lemar v'itle sahadi lemar. They each have witnesses. Okay. Ve'amur Rabanan ar'a hechad dekaima tikum. Says the Chachamim that since they both have witnesses, what happens? The land has to stay where it belongs. Okay. Because now what's gonna happen? Yehuda, because what's going on here? Yehuda is claiming the land belongs to him. Shimon is claiming the land belongs to him originally. Okay. Now, what happened in the meantime? Reuven stole the field and sold it to Levi. Now, since they both have witnesses to say that the field belongs to them, Shimon and Yehuda.
Judges are going to say it stays in the hand of Levi.
If Yehuda is going to manage to take it out from Levi, and now Shimon is going to come with his witnesses, and Levi and Yehuda is going to come with his witnesses, what's going to happen?
Fight, so they'd rather leave it into Levi.
Chachamim are going to say, you know what, we can't do anything here. It's going to have to stay in the possession of Yehuda, because Yehuda is machzik. No, if Yehuda manages to take it out from the hands of Levi, if Yehuda manages to take it out of the hand of Levi, when Shimon is going to come with his witnesses afterwards and come to testify that the land really belongs to him, Yehuda is going to bring his witnesses, and then what's going to happen? Chachamim are going to say, just leave the land wherever it is. Where is that? In the possession of Yehuda. So he will never be able to take possession of it again. If it's in the hands of Levi, if the land is in the hands of Levi, he can come bring his witnesses and take it from Levi afterwards. So now he has an interest to make sure that the field stays where? In Levi's possession. Because if it's Shimon's interest is that it should stay in Levi's possession for now.
Shimon is there he cannot win because it will stay status quo as it is.
So what happens? So, if it's Shimon versus Yehuda direct, it's a problem for Shimon because they're going to say that keep the land where it is, which is going to be Yehuda if Yehuda wins versus Levi.
I think I was siding with David.
No, because he managed to put his hand on it before.
When before?
Again, he
managed to take it from Levi. And then comes Shimon and there's a fight. They decide to leave it with Yehuda. But if he didn't do that,
I didn't know that
he didn't do that, then they leave it up with Shimon.
Okay. No, if they didn't do that, then it's by Levi. And it's going to be by Levi, and then when Shimon is going to have his witnesses afterwards, he's going to be able to take it from Levi. But for right now,
now it's status quo is the two witnesses, two parties, so he stayed with Yehuda.
No.
Yes.
If you're going to have that case, yes. So that's why says the Gemara, Shimon is not allowed to testify verse Yehuda that the field doesn't belong to Yehuda. Why? Because he has an interest. He has an interest to keep it by Levi so he can take it afterwards. So that's why he's not going to be believed for that. Amen ve'amen.